Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Welcome to the channel. Look at all this wonderful grunginess that's on my desk today. I went through all my ephemera that I have and I pulled out all this grunginess. Why? Because it's time for Junk Journal Madness for May. And I am pleased to announce that I am the guest collaborator for this month. And the theme that was chosen from the little spinner that out of the 6 that I submitted to Susan was grungy. I'm so excited. For those of you that aren't familiar with how the challenge works, she has a guest collaborator every month, and we submitted to her 6 themes, and she takes those 6 themes and she puts them in a little spinner app, and whatever theme comes up, that is the theme for the month. And I gave her 6 different themes, and of course, you know, fingers crossed that it came up grungy, and it did. I'm so excited. So grungy is the theme, and then she rolls die to decide how many different materials you have to use in your journal and how many makes or pieces of ephemera that you have to use. And the totals for those were 8 materials and 11 makes. So you have to use 8 different materials in constructing your journal, which is easy. I think all of us probably do that. And then you have to do 11 individual makes. Now, Sharon has a list on her, linked in her introductory video of each month. She has a link that you can go to Google Docs, and she has she calls a brain dump list of all kinds of different materials, and then she has another one for all kinds of different makes. So if you are participating and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, I don't know what I want to make, I don't know, you know, what I can put in that's different, go print those lists. They're wonderful. She has another list that is kinds of journals or themes that you can make, and she also is already taking reservations or booking or for next year's Junk Journal Madness if you would like to contact her about being a guest collaborator. So, what I did for today's video is I pulled out a bunch of examples of what you can do with this, because grungy can be a lot of different things. And I do encourage you that if you've never made a grungy journal, or you think, well, that's really not my thing, try it. Try it. I think you'll like it once you get into it. And you can do whatever level of grunge that you like. I mean, I've seen people that make stuff a whole lot more grungier than I do. And I've also seen some beautiful journals where there's just a touch of grunge. So don't think you have to go totally crazy, but I do encourage you to try it. And when you're doing a challenge like this or a collaboration like this is the time to step out of the box and do something you may not normally do. But yeah, also, these lists are available on Sharon's Ko-fi site. And I think she has both of those listed in her videos for the first of the month where she makes the announcement. I don't have either one of them printed. I took screenshots while watching her video of the list, and so mine are in a photo on my phone so that I can refer to them, but I didn't print them out. So I'm going to show you today. Excuse me. I'm trying not to cough. This cough is still hanging on, and I know it's the pollen and the stuff that's in the air, but I don't want to cough on you, so I'm trying my best not to. But anyway, I encourage you to jump over and print those out and, you know, make something that you've maybe never made before, and do it. Just do it. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it a lot. So, I'm going to give you some different ideas here, and then kind of show you. I already have my journal made, so I'm going to show you my journal, and that's all I'm going to do today. So the next episode will be actually making ephemera to put in the journal. So let me show you some stuff. Now, if you like Tim Holtz products, which I love, and you like the paper dolls, you can do grungy with those very easily. And here's some examples of some things. And a lot of you may have seen me make some of these things in previous videos. But you can see that you can make some cute little tags in ephemera using any of his portraits, paper dolls, you know, anything like that. Mixed media is great for grungy. You know, use your grit paste, use your stencils, use splatters, use mixed media. That's all great for getting a great grungy style. Another way you can go is steampunk. These are some steampunk kind of inspired things that I've done in the past. That's an altered guest check. And then these are altered paper clips on a playing card with a little tab. And I think I did these for one of the 50 stack challenges where I was doing the prompts on playing cards. So that's another thing. Here's a little mixed media clipboard that is also an altered paper clip that has just a little steampunky looking look to it. Also, kind of a vintage look. But yeah, I have a video on how I made these as well. And then if you like both birds and bugs, very easy. I made this for the Z in ABC April 2025 just the other day in my video. And you can see that's pretty grungy. I've got this little bookmark here that was made out of a spine of a book that I thought was too pretty to throw away, so I kept it and made a little bookmark out of it. Also very grungy. If you like bugs and butterflies, I made this the other day. And see, that's not quite as grungy, but it's still grungy. And it's got a little tag in here. I've got a little slide here with a ladybug in it. Also very grungy. I've got this that I made the other day. So see, you can use your botanicals and butterflies and birds. as well. Here's some more botanicals, just with some gesso, some stamping and on the back. It's kind of like a masterboard with some gesso over it. Here's another playing card that has a pocket. It has 2 playing cards, and that is just covered with some tissue paper on some Tim Holtz paper. So that's a cute little grungy pocket. This is a little matchbook that you can put a notepad in, just made out of a piece of scrapbook paper. This little guy, I'm actually going to make this for my next revisit video, but this is like a one-sheet wonder kind of thing. See, that's plenty grungy. This one's not fully decorated, but it's just coffee dyed paper. This little folio looking thing. And then we have, you know, another make that I made the other day. It's a belly band with a journal card. It's got some little metal touches. Anytime you put metal in a piece and you put fibers, different kinds of fibers and stuff, I think it gives it kind of that grungy vibe. And again, here's another one with a bird that I did the other day for the letter X, I believe, in the ABC April. So there you go. Here is the journal I have constructed to use this month. Move those out of the way. And it is just brown paper. It's like brown packing paper. And it's 2. I doubled it so that it's a little stiffer than just regular paper. I crumpled it up until it was nice and soft, and then glued 2 pieces together, and then put a piece of lace over the spine after I sewed in my signatures. This has got 2 signatures in it, and I've got several different kinds of papers, and I have not fully inked all these yet. I've got a window envelope in there. This side's going to become a tuck. And there's a pocket here. And you can see I've got some shorthand. I've got pages I've torn. I've got some ledger paper. That's from a children's vocabulary book. I've got some book pages from a bookkeeping manual. There's the center. See, I've torn some of the edges. So yeah, anything goes for what you want to use. It's pages. That's some tea-dyed there. And this paper is a little bit stiffer. It's from like a sketchbook, so it's a little bit stiffer than regular paper. This is the back of the envelope, and so what I did is I added this piece of children's writing paper that's tea-dyed, and then had it flip over the pocket of the envelope. So there's going to be a pocket here, but there's going to be a writing space here. I've got some old sheet music on there, and it was a little wide, so I just folded it in. And I did back this with some newsprint because it is vintage music paper, and I wanted to stiffen it up a little bit. That's from a German autograph book. And That's from the accounting book. I did this as a single page. I've not ever done this before, so I'm curious to see how it is. I sewed in my 2 signatures, and you know how there's always a gap in between the 2 signatures, or 3 signatures, or however many you put in there. I've always hated that gap there. So I took a single page and sewed it in like it was another signature to take up some of that gap. And I'm curious to see how that looks when it's finished. But yeah, and then the second signature is pretty much the same thing again. These envelopes, I just did a simple, covered them with all kinds of my oldest, grungiest book pages. And again, that one will be a flap right, tuck right there. Get off there. Doesn't want to let go. But yeah, so the next thing that I will do is go through and ink all these, stencil if I want to stencil, and do all that prep work before I start with my ephemera. And then I'll be ready to go, and I won't have to do any inking or anything like that page by page. And there's another envelope there, or the back side of the envelope. More music and more of the German. So yeah, now for the cover, I am thinking, where I made this piece the other day that looks like tin. I'm thinking about putting it on the cover with this. This is the back of a little notebook that I ripped off the back and saved because I like this part. And I'm thinking, and then this is a piece of Tim Holtz scrap paper that I think the colors go well with the tag. And I've got some cheesecloth, and I'm thinking I may put this on the cover. I think it fits well with the theme, and I also like the color, where we're going color-wise. And then as far as digitals, I believe that I'm going to use my papers that I've picked for Sweet Pea Curiosities for my design team project for this month, because I think it all is just going to fit in so well together, and I don't need another journal to start on right now. And my original thought for these was I was going to be creating ephemera with the kits that I picked. So if I'm going to be creating ephemera anyway, I might as well create it to go in this journal and accomplish 2 things. So this is her steampunk ephemera. It's a 5-page set, and it has all these really cool little pieces that you can cut out and put together to make ephemera. I love these butterflies. Love them. That's what made me pick this one, was the butterfly. And I also like the idea of steampunk and flowers and butterflies. I think that's a good combination, because you're getting something soft in there with the hards of the steampunk, the metals and stuff like that. So I really like the thought of that. So I'm going to be using some of those. And then she has this brand new kit. And I forget what she calls this. I will tell you in the next video. But I printed just a few sheets so that I could see if it was going to work together to make like tags for my ephemera that I want to make with these. But these are the most wonderful grungy pages. And they all have that kind of rusted, patina look to them. Some of them have flower backgrounds, and I didn't print. I think there's 37 pages in this kit. It's a great kit. And I didn't print, you know, even a third of them because I just wanted a sample of what they look like to get my mind flowing. But several of them have flowers in the background. Several of them have this terraced kind of piece. And then there are, I love that one, shades. Some of them are more brown. Some of them are, you know, more of the rusty. They've got some of the patina, the kind of aqua teal colors in there. I don't think I printed. Yeah, I did. Some have circles. But yeah, really pretty. So that's where I'm going at the moment. And like I said, the next video, I'll have my mind more put together about which direction I want to go with it. And we'll do the cover and we will start making ephemera for it. Oh, and I also have, I'm going to use, because this was my original plan, I had saved these little guys. These are sweet peas, curiosities as well. These little guys are in the summertime on the farm kit. And I didn't use them. I intentionally saved them to use with this kit this month, because I love them. But I think they have kind of a steampunky vibe. And I think the colors go really well with this. So these were in my original ephemera ideas for May. These little guys, which I also love, are also Marissa's. She just comes up with the cutest photos. And I have these left over from it's an Easter kit, but I can't think of the name of it. And I think they give off, especially these little boys, I think give off kind of a steampunky look. Doesn't he look cute? And wouldn't he just look adorable on one of these little steampunky looking things? Yeah. So I'm excited about those. And then I also have these, which are Marissa's. I told you I was a fan of hers even before I was chosen to be on her design team. So I have tons of her stuff that I was already using. I also have these photos, which I love, and they're very grungy. And I had originally got these for, I did a journal on coal mining. But I think these would also look really good with these little ephemera pieces. So yeah, I might use some of those. So you see, I have a ton of different directions that I can go. And these photos, if you're interested in this kit, each of these photos here in this kit come in 3 different sizes, I think. 1, 2, might be 4 different sizes. So, for example, you're going to get one this size, you're going to get one this size, and you're going to get one, I think it's 3. Where's one of the small ones? Yeah, see, you're going to get one this size, and then one bigger one. So yeah, great kit. Lots of photos. All cute. Look how grungy that is. With the chippy door. And that's another thing you could do. You could do like old abandoned houses and stuff, which I've done a couple of journals like that because I love that kind of thing. Marissa does have a kit called Painted Shacks that is really cool that I have used in the past. But yeah. Alright. So that's it, guys. That's where I think I'm gonna go. Who knows how many times I'll change my mind. I may end up doing two and say, no, you know, I want all this in a journal. And then I want all this in a journal. Which eventually I'm going to have to use all this in a journal anyway. I'm getting so much ephemera that I've got to do something with it. I could always put it together in a lot and list it, which I do that sometimes if I get overwhelmed and get too much stuff going. Then, but you can see my colors don't vary a lot. I was really surprised when I went through here how much yellow, because I'm normally not a yellow fan. But, unless it's a mustard color yellow. But yeah, so lots of different directions you can go, so don't feel like, oh, I can't do grungy because I don't like steampunk. You don't have to do steampunk. You can use, you know, whatever theme you want. And still do grungy, and your level of grungy is totally up to you and what you feel comfortable with. So again, I'm excited, and thank you, Sharon, so much for allowing me the opportunity to be able to pick the theme for this month. And I hope everybody has great fun with this one. And if you're participating, don't forget to use the hashtag Junk Journal Madness if you're posting to YouTube or to any other social media like Instagram or whatever. And that way we can search this hashtag and find your beautiful makes and see what you're doing. So that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.